The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, Sandy Vicani here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Just wanted to thank everyone for attending this webinar on Monday morning. Just so greatly appreciate it. A lot of good information we're going to go over with Assurity. Again, my name is Sandy Vicanti and I head up the Life Division here at IAMS. And again, big thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to attend what we believe is a really important webinar. Before I hand it over to Paige Phelps with Assurity, I'm going to go over some house cleaning items here at IAMS. So when you are an agent here and you refer an agent over to us, that agent gets contracted, we send you a $50 check as a thank you once that agent is contracted with us. When that same agent writes business and places it with IAMS, whether that's life, annuity, MedSup, combination thereof, we pay you 20 basis points on each piece of written and placed business by that agent. That is indefinite. That doesn't end. As long as that agent is placing business, we're going to continue to pay that 20 basis point override. That doesn't come out of your pocket. It doesn't come out of the agent's pocket. That comes from IAMS as a thank you for entrusting us with that referral. For all agents, we have something called a marketing reimbursement account. So with that marketing reimbursement account, for every $100,000 of placed premium, whether that's life, annuity, MedSup, combination thereof, we put $100 in that marketing reimbursement account. That account continues to build. It carries over each year. You do not lose any of that money. Kind of think of it as a business savings account. So when you have a business expense, whether it be for a webinar or lead list, a seminar that you had, submit that invoice to us. We pay up to 50% or that amount or up to that amount that you have in that account. And again, that just comes from here at IAMS. It does not come out of anyone's commission. We also have for our new producers, gosh, if you're contracted in your first 6 months with IAMS and you place $100,000 of premium, again, that's life, MedSup, annuity, combination thereof, you can choose a 2-year producer website that we create and manage for you, or you can choose a $750 cash bonus. If you'd like to hold off because you think, gosh, I'm going to, place $300,000 of business with IAMS in my first 6 months. What you can do is you can choose a $1,500 gift card. You can choose a $2,000 marketing reimbursement, that account that that I just spoke about, or you can choose a Social Security program and 3,000 piece mailing. If you'd like to hold off because you think, gosh, I'm going to go gangbusters here and place $500,000 of business with IAMS, again, life, annuity, MedSup, combination thereof, you can choose a 4,000 piece mailing and seminar coaching with a top producer of ours, Dave Pimper, a 5,000 piece mailing and seminar coaching with another top producer of ours, Matt Gill. And if you attend any of my webinars, you know what I'm going to say next. It is my absolute favorite. You can choose a Ritz-Carlton Travel Rewards Getaway Package where you plan your own destination. Let's see here. We also have just real strong back office support. So what we do here at IAMS is we're trying to save you time, whether that's setting you up in the beginning on paperless contracting to make sure that you don't have to fill out any additional contracting paperwork in the future. Whether you are looking for any life or annuity quotes, you need any applications, service forms, case design assistance, helping you figure out what the best product and carrier would be for you and your client. And then what I think is really important out of all of this is our submission to commission. And what I mean by that is when you submit an application to IAMS, we scrub that application, make sure that we're not missing anything, give you a call, I'll let you know we've received it, get any additional information that we need, order exams and labs if needed, and send that app to the carrier the same day that we receive it. We follow that app through the underwriting process, and we are touching that app every 3 days to make sure that it's staying on track and getting issued and placed and out the door as quickly as possible to make sure that you get paid commission right away. So real strong of our back office team. I think that they do an amazing job. And again, that's how important and how much we value your business. We have a strong creative team. If you see any of our life and annuity books, our newsletters, our website, these webinars even, they create that for IAMS. They can also help you, whether you're speaking with Sean or Jacob, with any type of flyers and handouts, logo design. If you have one and it looks tired and it needs to be refreshed, or you don't have one, we can create and design that for you. Any business cards, online newsletters, websites. If you don't have a website, we'll create and manage that for you. Social media. That is huge right now. So if any one of you are on Facebook and you see those advertisements pop up and you'd like to know how you can get your name and your agency's name out there just like that, we can help create that for you. So I can't stress enough the opportunities our creative team offers our contracted agents. Please give Sean or Jacob a call and let's see how we can help you. Our website, great information on our website. I am in this every day. It is www.iamsinc.com. And that website, gosh, when you call me up and would like any forms, or if you'd like a term or UL quote, this is where I go. If you want to look at our webinar calendar or want to see any of our recorded webinars, this is where you would go as well. It has a wealth of information for you with current industry links and news. If you want to know who our top 5 annuity MIGA carriers are, you can pull that up. If you'd like to get a quote for your E&O, we have a link for that for you here as well. And then our great sales resource library. And what you're going to find there is little mini educational videos and forms and presentations, whether you're looking at annuities and income riders or key man products. So our website, if you're not registered, I suggest you get registered, kind of take a look around. It is great information and it's also available 24/7. So any evening appointments where you need to run a quote or get a form, you're able to do that right here off this website. So I'm going to put out a poll question on IAMS Wealth Management. So when that DOL ruling came out, we found it to be really important for agents here at IAMS to try to capture as much revenue as they can from their clients. And so we created an IAMS Wealth Management division here. And why we did that is in the hopes that it would increase your revenue with managed money fees. It allows you to offer a full range of products and services, and you're also viewed differently by your clients. You're viewed as a fiduciary. There's been a lot of changes with the DOL ruling. If anyone thinks the DOL ruling is going away, you are mistaken. It is not going away. By checking yes, you're just asking for additional information on what the current rules and changes are, what's coming up in the near future on that. If you have a Series 65 and you'd like to see what the fees are, we'll be happy to do that. If you don't have a Series 65 and you're not interested in getting one and you'd like to know how you can still capture this revenue, please check yes and we'll go ahead and we'll get that information out to you. We also have a Life and Annuity Academy. And so with this, this is industry recognized. We are having one March 13th through the 15th in Dallas, Texas. We pay for all the expenses, whether it's airfare, lodging, meals. It's a 2-day jam-packed training event. We go over different sales ideas and strategies. We go over indexed annuities and unravel them. Different threats and trends in the industry, overcoming client objections. We go over seminar systems and what works best for your region or your area, whether it's cookies or coffee in a library to your more formal sit-down seminars. Any large life case marketing with single premium life, private financing, or that infinite banking concept, wealth transfer tools, software tools. We just go over everything. We pull about 35 to 40 agents for this. Again, this is in Dallas, Texas, March 13th through the 15th. By checking yes, you're asking for some additional information, and we'll make sure to get that out to you. We also, in addition to the carriers high commission and trips. We here at IAMS thought it was really important to offer our own trip for you and a guest. And so what we have is our 2019 IAMS Marketing Summit. That is August 25th through the 29th of this year. And that will be in very warm, sunny, beautiful Naples, Florida at the Ritz-Carlton. The invitational period, we try to get as many agents and their guests there as possible, so we have long invitational periods. This one was from January 1st, 2018, and goes all the way out to June 30th, 2019. If you would like to attend, the only way to would be for you to get contracted and to write and place business with us. And you can do that with a combination of $3 million of annuity premium, $1.5 million of med sup premium, $2.25 million of single premium life, $250,000 of life target premium, and $600,000 of long-term care premium. We hear from agents all the time that attend this trip that they feel like it's a family reunion. They go 1 year and they just, get addicted and want to continue to go each and every year. We're very proud of that. We would love for you to be able to attend with you and a guest. Again, the only way you're able to do that is to make sure that you get contracted and start writing and placing business here at IAMS. So what I'm going to do now is switch this over to Paige Phelps with Assurity. She is a great friend of IAMS. Assurity is a wonderful carrier that we use quite a bit. You need to have them in your back pocket, most definitely if you don't already. So Paige, if you'd like to take over.
Yeah, thank you, Sandy, for introducing me. In addition to the trip that Sandy just talked about too, you guys are also eligible to qualify for Assurity's trip as well. So you can double up there based off of the life premium that you're writing between IAMS and Assurity. So just a little teaser there if you want to take on that Ritz-Carlton trip and then hit up Prague next April 2020. It would be a good year of travel for you. So just a fun little teaser on this Monday morning. Like Sandy mentioned, we decided today to kind of fill you guys in on who Assurity is. If you're familiar with us, if you're not familiar with us, it would be a nice opportunity at the beginning of the year for a good refresher. We've changed some of our branding and updated some of the initiatives that we've got going on as a carrier. So today we're going to talk a little bit about who we are, and my hope for you today is that you get to know us as a carrier a little bit better. And that you understand, the relationship that we have with IAMS. It's been a great partnership for us over the years, and so we really want to do a lot for you guys this year in 2019 to help you become successful in your businesses, and you've got that in partnership between both IAMS and Assurity. So today I want you to kind of just get to know us a little bit more. If you guys do have any questions, we would be happy to take those questions about us as a carrier as well. So like Sandy mentioned, my name is Paige Phelps. I'm one of the regional sales managers here at Assurity and can help support you kind of from any and all aspects. The team at IAMS does a great job in supporting the Assurity efforts as well. So we work closely together as a partnership and are aligned very closely with each other to make sure that you guys are successful and that your customers are served and their needs are met. So to kind of share a little bit about who we are as a carrier, we're based out of Lincoln, Nebraska, and so I think that's a really nice alignment with IAMS based out of Omaha. We're about 40 minutes from each other, so really between the two of us, we can work very closely to make sure that you're getting served everything that you need in order to be successful. What's interesting about Assurity is we've changed our branding and we've changed our look, and the story in our business today is that insurance carriers are old and stuffy, so to speak. And so it's time to kind of change that opinion and make sure that we're conveying the message to our customers that they're getting more out of the carrier that's manufacturing these products than what they traditionally thought of. So the customer is more involved in the experience and the insurance purchasing experience involved more today than they ever have been in the past. And they really want to know where that product is coming from, that you guys are positioning the right products for them to provide them solutions. And so it's kind of this whole encompassing circle that we really need to tell the Assurity story very well and make sure that by the time it gets to the customer, they understand the value in the product that they're purchasing. So one of the things that I think resonates really well in today's environment, especially with the customers in mind, is the fact that Assurity is a B Corporation certified company. And so if you're familiar with that, or if you're not familiar with that, what that means is that Assurity is dedicated to utilizing our time and resources to give back to the community. We're LEED Gold certified, meaning our building is green, it's sustainable. But I think all of this can build into a story that you have a different story to share with your customer when you're out talking to them about where this product is coming from. It's not just a whale or a duck, or that's not the image that Assurity conveys. It's the image of sustainability, a carrier that's been here for a very long time, very financially strong, is doing a lot of great things for the community that they live and work in, and is really giving back to the customer. The other piece of this too that really makes a lot of sense, I think, for today's consumer is that we're a mutual company. And so we're not reporting to our stockholders any success that we have is going back to that policyholder. And so when you wrap all of these pieces together, I think it really shares a very strong message about an insurance carrier who today is doing a lot for the customer, a lot for the community that they work in, a lot for the environment that they live and breathe in, but is very stable, very strong from a financial perspective, and is going to be around for a long time. So I think there's a lot of great things that you can share about an insurance carrier, which is a little bit unique, but it's going to be those kinds of things are what resonates with your customer right now, and are, concerns and things that they're thinking about when they're purchasing their products from people. So with all that in mind, we do have an A- excellent rating with AM Best. So we are an A-rated carrier, which is important. It shows the strengths and financials and the history and the ability to service policies as an insurance carrier. The other thing that would be important to remember about us too is that we kind of pride ourselves on being a one-stop shop. So I'll share a little bit about what that portfolio looks like. We're not going to do a lot of intensive product stuff today, but do know that we have a variety of solutions within our portfolio to help mitigate a lot of those risks that the everyday consumer faces. So we're not chasing the elephant, so to speak. We're concerned about middle-income America, those people that are 25 to 55, they're making about $150,000 a year or less. That's where Assurity is concerned about the need for insurance within that space. There's a huge coverage gap in terms of life insurance in our world right now, and so that's one of the things that we really want to make sure that we convey to you guys, that we're here to support that effort, and there's a lot of opportunity within our business to make sure that those customers are fully covered from those different risks. The other thing that you would want to know about us that would be a point of reference as well is that, when you're working with that middle-income consumer, their needs for convenience is extremely important. You think about that individual, they might be running to soccer practice, dance lessons, they're all over the place. It's usually a dual income household, so there's both spouses working. So there's a lot of things going on in that individual's life. And so for us to be able to offer options, everything from simplified to accelerated to full medical underwriting, we really want to make sure that convenience aspect serves what that customer needs and what you need in the field as an advisor. We know that time is money for you. And so we want to make sure that, whatever path you go down, whatever path your customer chooses, everybody's getting the benefit there. And it's a win-win situation for all. So just kind of give you some ideas about what our story is, what we look like. I think by having that story in your back pocket, you can really build some additional value into that conversation with your customer, where they feel a little bit more engaged and drawn into a relationship in the purchasing process versus just a product sale. So when you look at our portfolio, like I mentioned, we have a variety of different things in here to cover a variety of customer needs and solutions. So really, when you think about Assurity as a carrier, there's a lot of opportunity for that everyday customer to be able to be protected from a variety of risks that they could face on an everyday basis that would really hinder their financial goals and what they're trying to achieve in their life. We are mutual companies, so we have a very strong whole life portfolio. We do have some single premium whole life options, as well as a true participating whole life that's earning dividends and creating cash value. So I think that's something that's essential in an advisor's portfolio and is something that's definitely needed to be able to offer that type of solution to a customer. The other thing that I would definitely point out to you is that we have a term portfolio that's very strong. We repriced it. I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. But for someone in the insurance business, it's so important to have a good term policy in your back pocket. But with term, the thing there is that you need to make sure that it's worth your time, right? We've all gotten to the point where we have a commoditized term sale. That's just the environment that we live in. And so when we look at a term policy, we need to know that it's going to do the best it possibly can for that customer, but that it's also being processed efficiently so that we're spending the least amount of time and getting paid the most amount of money on it. Time is money, like I mentioned earlier. And so that term product and process needs to be really, really fine-tuned. And we've got that in our portfolio, and I'm proud to share that with you guys today. The other thing for Assurity as a carrier is that we are a very strong disability carrier. So I know traditionally these webinars are life-focused, and that's where we'll focus today. But do know that if you run into opportunities for income protection within a customer's portfolio, Assurity is a very strong disability carrier. We're also a very strong critical illness carrier. So again, if you take a look at that whole customer picture and who we're trying to capture as a customer, those individuals need those paychecks. If something serious such as a critical illness happens to them, and that's going to be a stop in what they're trying to do and what they're trying to achieve. So really from a well-rounded standpoint, you've got a lot of things that you can accomplish with Assurity's portfolio. So just wanted to share a little bit about what that looks like and what kind of some of the meaning is behind that and what the purpose is. So I do want to share more information with you today about the term life product and a little bit about the whole life product as well. Like I said, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I do want to point out some key areas of emphasis so that taking the story of who we are out to the customer and have some ideas of potential ways that you can approach this and take advantage of it right after this webinar. So we're going to talk about these two things, and then I'm going to share a little bit about how we process business here at Assurity as a carrier and kind of talk about how you work with us. So first and foremost, the term life insurance, like I mentioned, we repriced that and kind of created this new product back in November of 2017. So if you are on the call and you've had experience with this or you have not yet, I would definitely encourage you to try this out now. The key areas of emphasis for us on this term product really boil down to these 3 C's that we put together. Like I mentioned earlier, the convenience aspect for this type of customer is so, so important. So we need to make sure that it's working for the customer, but it's working for you on this call too, from a convenience standpoint. The other thing is that we have to create value in the products and solutions that we're selling. So when we're talking to a customer, we can't just be pitching a product. We can't just be pitching term life insurance. We have to be able to create value in what that individual is buying. It's so important in their purchasing decision to see value within that purchase. And so that's where your customization aspect comes into it. There's some really cool things that you can do with the term product. We've got some living benefit riders, some critical illness, some disability. So I'll kind of talk through that too, but you can really build out a well-rounded term product that's got a lot of value packed in it on a quick and easy process. And then the other piece of it too is that we kept our true conversion options within this product. And I think that's really important in today's environment to know that that customer can purchase a term policy. It's cost sensitive, right? So they're purchasing term insurance because it's the less expensive option. But the fact that they have the ability to convert to a true whole life or universal life product within our portfolio, I think is huge in today's environment. A lot of carriers have gone away from those true conversion options. So the fact that they can put that term insurance in place, convert it later on to a permanent product and have that option is super cool for the customer, but it's also really good for you if you're thinking about how you're building out your book of business, because when you think about it, if you're going back and converting to permanent life insurance, it's another opportunity to have a conversation with that customer, and it's another opportunity to create a new sale. So really great things in terms of the convenience, the customization of it, and the conversion options built into this term product. All of this is done in the sense that we want you to be able to add a lot of value to what this customer is purchasing from you. So some different features of this product, we did build in accelerated underwriting to this, and I'll kind of walk you through a little bit how that works. But what was neat about it is that we filed it as a fully underwritten product and then built in the accelerated underwriting process. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds with it. You're getting the accelerated underwriting where we're avoiding paramed exams. We're using some different reports and things to get that underwriting decision at those certain face amounts, but you're getting the pricing of a fully underwritten product. So we're not pricing in any additional non-medical or simplified risk to the product, which is pretty cool that you can offer that quick process for your customer, but still get them pricing that makes sense in their budget. So you can see those limits listed up there on the screen, ages 18 to 50 up to $500,000 of face amount, and then 51 to 65 up to $350,000 of face amount. Can go through that accelerated process. Like I mentioned, your living benefits riders, those are critical illness, disability, income riders that are separate from the death benefits. So I'll kind of share a little bit about that too. And then we've got a really strong return of premium option. So if you are writing some return of premium term, or you have some opportunities to do so, I would definitely check Assurity out for that. The pricing is very good on that return of premium piece. So just some key areas of emphasis. Hopefully you're writing a couple of these things down and making notes of potential clients that you can approach with this option for term insurance. So just to kind of walk you through the accelerated underwriting, and then we'll move on. Basically what we're doing is we're using real-time data to eliminate the need for labs and exams for those applicants that fit into that qualification of the face amounts. So we're looking at MIB, script check, motor vehicle, and LexisNexis. And during the application process, the engine that we've built into the online electronic application is essentially reading these reports and doing the underwriting and asking reflexive questions based off of how those applications are being answered on, how those questions are being answered on that application. So all applicants that go through that process are considered for instant approval at the time of the application. So it's very quick. It serves that need for instant gratification for that customer, which I think is really important in today's environment too. The other cool thing about it is it's reducing that overall cycle time. So by doing it on that electronic platform, by having it go through that underwriting decision, you've got that ability to cut down on that total processing time, which is good for everybody involved, right? That's our goal as a carrier, is to get you paid quicker and get that customer covered quicker. So that's what we're looking at when we're looking at these accelerated processes. So just kind of a visual representation of how it works. You basically submit that e-application. We're going to ask for that signature at the beginning so that we get that HIPAA authorization and we can run those MIB, script check, motor vehicle, and LexisNexis. After we get that initial signature, pull those reports, it's going to continue to underwrite that application as you continue to fill it out with your customer. At the end, if you do decide to submit to Assurity based off of that underwriting decision, you'll either get an approval, a decline, or a referred to underwriting. You would go ahead and sign that application again with that customer and then submit it to Assurity. If you got an instant approval at the end of that application, it would go straight to our issue queue, and our issue queue would go ahead and issue that policy and get it out the door within 2 business days. So lots of great things going on there. We are running at a high straight-through processing rate right now, which is really good for us as a carrier because that means we're doing what we need to do to get that business out the door for you. And then just to give you some ideas on the participating whole life of potential ways that you could use this, we are, a mutual company, so it is a participating product, earning dividends, and the cash accumulates. We do have the option on our product to add a value enhancement rider to help that cash accumulate a little bit quicker. So there's some opportunities there if you're working in that cash accumulation space. I know Sandy mentioned infinite banking at the beginning of her segment. So it's a good product in that space to help enhance that cash value of the policy. We also have people use it in perm term blend scenarios. So we do have a term rider that you can add to our participating whole life product. I've got a couple pointers up there on the screen on how to do that, but it is a concept that I would encourage you to talk to your wholesalers at IAMS about. They would be able to help with those perm term blend scenarios where you're getting a little bit of permanent based policy and then covering something like a mortgage or a larger lump sum with that term rider. And then the juvenile whole life policies, we have a large majority of our par whole life business that gets written in the juvenile space. And a large reason for that is our protected insurability rider that we add to the product for those juveniles. It's a rider that's an additional cost, but they can purchase additional insurance with that policy without going through underwriting again. So unlike a traditional children's policy, it's a lifetime benefit and a lifetime policy where it's not terminating at a specific age. So lots of great opportunities there, areas of emphasis to pay attention to when you're looking at Assurity's participating whole life. Our participating whole life product is very important to us as a carrier. Being a mutual company, again, it's really important to have a strong participating whole life product. So we take a lot of care in terms of making sure that that's great for everybody involved in that process of writing whole life insurance. We do add some additional features in, some benefits for you guys and for your customers. We have non-medical underwriting. You can see those limitations listed up there on the screen, ages 0 to 60 up to about 150,000 and 61 to 85 up to about 75,000. So some opportunities. I would pay attention to that 61 to 85 space. That's a pretty high issue age that you can do on a permanent participating whole life product with non-medical underwriting. So I would pay attention to maybe make a star by that. Again, on this, we do have living benefits as an option for the participating whole life as well. So that's kind of our whole idea at Assurity is we want to make sure that it's easy to cover as many risks as possible if that customer is concerned with those different risks. So you can add a critical illness rider, you can add a disability rider. Those pay in addition to the death benefit on both our term and our participating whole life. So it's not going to take away from the death benefit if that individual has to use the critical illness benefit on that term policy or participating whole life policy. They're separate pools of money. They're not taking away from the death benefit. So again, I would put a star by that too. That's extremely important in today's industry and environment that we keep those separate and keep those both intact. If you're looking for some additional resources, Assurity does a really good job from a marketing standpoint. We're continually putting out a variety of different marketing sites, new pieces. We just changed our logo and updated that after the first of the year. So if you're, like I said, familiar with Assurity or not familiar with Assurity, definitely go check out some of these microsites I put up on the screen here, assuritytermlife.com, to give you an example. It's got all of our marketing materials, anything you would want from a consumer and an agent standpoint. The folks at IAMS can help you with those marketing pieces and direct you towards those as well. One of the new things that I would also encourage you to try and kind of adds into the Assurity story as a whole is that we're trying to connect in different ways. And Sandy mentioned things like social media, different marketing tools that you have access to at IAMS by being contracted through them. All of those things are super awesome, and I'm glad that there's a marketing group out there that's actually going out of their way to help you guys with those types of things. Another thing that I would add to kind of your arsenal is that we started doing these podcasts, and it's called Tips from the Insurance Professionals. It's Assurity's podcast channel, and we interview a variety of different agents across the country that are, writing business with us in different ways. And we're essentially just asking them about their business so that if you're tuning in and listening to it, you can hopefully glean some different ideas, some different perspective on opportunities that you might want to take advantage of. So Tips from the Insurance Pros, it's available in both Spotify and the iTunes store. And so again, we're just trying to connect on a different level, enhance that relationship, and give you guys the tools that you need to be successful. So I would definitely make note of that as well. Okay, when it comes to actually working with Assurity, you say, this sounds great, Paige. Sandy, how do I get contracted? Where do I go to start if I haven't been contracted with Assurity yet? So I'll refer you guys back to IAMS for that process, but it's pretty simple. They'll help you complete your contracting paperwork and get all that situated. Once that contracting paperwork comes to us, we generate a 4-character ID for you. So once you receive that ID from us at Assurity, you're going to get access to our AssureLink portal with instructions on how to log in on that, and I'll share some of that as well with you guys. But just to give you a heads up, we do use a just-in-time process for our contracting. So as soon as we receive your paperwork, we'll go ahead and get that 4-character ID assigned to you and get everything set up. Once we receive your first piece of business, we'll go ahead and finish fully processing that contracting paperwork and run the background check. So just to give you an idea on how that process works, The one thing that I would share with you about Assurity too is that we keep all of our processing, everything that we do is here in the home office in Lincoln, Nebraska. And I think that's very important in terms of working with a carrier because it establishes a very high level of service. It's so important for us to make sure that you guys are getting everything you possibly need for us from a servicing standpoint when you do decide to write business with us. So both on from your perspective and from your customer's perspective, it needs to be a seamless support system for you here at Assurity, and we're working very closely with IAMS in respect to that too. So lots of great things from a service standpoint here at Assurity as well. Once you get that 4-character ID, you will have access to this AssureLink portal. So if you already are contracted, feel free to write down that agent portal link at the top of the screen there again if you don't have it bookmarked or saved. But what this portal does is provides you a variety of information in terms of product information. You can get the illustration software there, access to electronic applications. You can manage your policies in your business. There's various training and marketing materials on there too. So it's kind of a catch-all in terms of Assurity for you and access to all of your resources. We also do have a new business contact center, so you can work with the team at IAMS on just about anything and everything. If you're looking at preliminary underwriting assessments, we would be happy to review those for you and get you a decision. We can help with illustration assistance, AssureLink assistance. If you have any questions on pending policies or need to get to an underwriter, the new business contact center is the first point of reference for you. So I would write down that phone number so that you have that contact information. They're kind of our catch-all between our different processing departments and what you need based off of the information from those policies that you've submitted. So they're a really great resource for everybody in the field. We also have all of our policies and applications in electronic format. So you can still write paper applications with us if you want to. That's totally fine. I will tell you that 52% of our applications do come in an electronic format. So we do have really high utilization of those electronic applications. And I think some of the reasons for that is it's eliminating the not in good order applications, kind of passes that whole scrubbing process. You know, you really can't mess it up. It'll catch you before you submit it. So it's nice to do those electronic applications and have access to that. Cuts down pretty significantly on processing time too. So really it all boils down to you being able to do your business more efficiently and get the customer something as far as feedback goes. So you'll see a lot of electronic initiatives from Assurity. Our final kind of piece of the electronic platform is to get e-policy delivery put in place too. So we've got, you know, the electronic quoting, the applications, we've got the electronic underwriting and some of those accelerated programs. And so the last kind of piece of that to close the loop will be the e-policy delivery. So lots of great things in terms of electronic servicing. If there is a situation where the interview team has to be used, maybe you're using a drop ticket or a tele application, or there's some additional underwriting information that we need to verify with the customer. Our interview team is in-house here in Lincoln, Nebraska. We don't outsource that, and so I think that's a really important piece to also convey to your customer, that they may get a phone interview, but it's always going to come from a 402 area code here in Lincoln, Nebraska, so they can be comfortable answering that and getting that taken care of. We've got really flexible hours too, which you can see listed up there. All of those times are listed in Central Time, so lots of opportunity for that customer to complete that phone interview. And then the underwriting team is kind of the last thing I want to wrap up on. It kind of takes us through our entire process in the building, but the underwriting team averages about 18 years of experience. Our goal is to review all of the applications within 2 business days and to review final requirements within 2 business days, and so those are the standards that they hold themselves to. Obviously, that's dependent upon volume and flow business. So right now, we've got a ton of people writing business with us. We've got a lot of policies in-house. So you might see a little bit longer service times, but those are the goals and those are what they have set on their metrics and their measurements to get those done within 2 business days. So again, it just conveys that level of service that you've got when working with a carrier such as Assurity. Everybody here is on their toes to make sure everything gets turned around and processed for you quickly so that you get paid quick and you get something into that customer's hands, and can continue writing business in an efficient way. So lots of great things on the underwriting team too. With that, I will wrap it up and take any questions that you guys might have. I can actually pass it back to Sandy and have her ask the questions if she's gotten any on her end. I appreciate all of your time today and taking the opportunity to get to know and learn Assurity a little bit better. So hopefully you all have a great week, and we'll turn it back over to Sandy.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I'll do one last poll question, and that's if you'd like to get contracted with Assurity. So I'll leave that out, and we'll answer any questions that anyone may have. Can you do, Paige, any IUL information that you're able to give? You guys don't carry an IUL, correct?
We don't. Our universal life product is current assumptions. We do not have any indexed products.
So and just to let everyone know, with Assurity, they're an A-rated carrier. They are just do an amazing job, whether you're looking at, your lower death benefits for final expense or your simplified issue products with term, their UL, their whole life. They have disability. Gosh, they are a one-stop shop, and they do absolute amazing job. We have direct access to their underwriters, so we're able to, get in touch with them on any of your cases. So if you're not contracted, I suggest that you get contracted. Let's see, if you're set up for paperless contracting, we'll go ahead and get that contracting completed for you. And I don't see any additional questions. I really appreciate everyone's time. Paige, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule as well. We really appreciate it. Again, I will contact everyone. You'll also get this in a recorded link later on today, so if you need to go back and take a look, of course it's there. A reminder that my name is Sandy Vicani, and I do head up the Life Division here at IMES. You can call me at 1-800-255-5055. Everyone have a safe, healthy, and happy week, and again, thank you so much. Bye-bye.